AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
Deja un like, comentario.
Y suscribe.
We in the mix. Messing with the layout. Hold on. We get it right.
Nah, we should be good like this, no?
We good. Yep, we good.
Yeah, listen. We here. Wake up.
Make your asses up.
I ain't want to wake up. We,
I'm
we're,
tired.
we're a little late, right? Technical difficulties, but first and foremost, hope everybody doing well. What's good, Flea? How you feeling this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good morning, OG.
Yeah.
Good morning. Nigga told me last night. Don't tell me good morning. Good morning.
You see, I ain't say it back, right? Go to hell. Morning, everybody. Good morning, my brother. Yeah, man. Listen, New York, 29 degrees this morning. What kind of games they playing out here, dog?
I don't know. It's cozy here.
Yeah.
Cozy.
Listen, let's get right to it. Big game last night. In the East, the Celtics versus the Charlotte Hornets. We all know when everybody talks about Flea, the threat to the Knicks, those are the two teams that come up, right? We all know what Detroit is. We ain't even got to discuss that. But when it comes to Boston and Charlotte, everybody says, that's the teams we need to look out for. Last night, big game last night on the East Coast. Boston beat Charlotte. Charlotte looked like they had something going, right? But Flea, just before we get into Knicks rehab on Wake Up, how do you feel about the Charlotte Hornets? Did they get exposed last night? Are we kind of jumping the gun? Are we kind of over exaggerating the Hornets? Are we acting too scary as New Yorkers, as Knicks fans? Or are the Boston Celtics that good?
Well, let me say this first. The Boston Celtics are that good. They're former champions. They have two elite level players. They have great coaching. They're just an overall great organization, right? So we can't act like Boston is some pushover. But at the same time, I look at this Charlotte Hornets team, and I heard something Jalen Brown said after the game last night. I kind of agree with him.
What he
Just
said? Because I'm thinking we thinking the same thing. What he said?
just comparing this Charlotte Hornets team to the younger Boston team when Jalen Brown first got in the league, when Jason Tatum first got there, when Marcus Smart just got there. Like all that team was kind of putting it together, and they brought some stars in there to try to elevate them. But at the end of the day, it wasn't going to turn until Tatum and Brown elevated. So they tried to bring in Kyrie Irving. So they tried to bring in Gordon Hayward. Remember that? Like they tried to bring in a few different guys. And you just really needed to let that Boston team grow. I look at this Charlotte team, and there's a lot of guys that could hurt you. Knippel is a rookie, and he's already playing like a vet. LaMelo has finally calmed down, and he's elevating his game to be a real elite point guard in today's NBA. Then you look at Brandon Miller. He's a guy that could get hot at any moment of the game. Miles Bridges, still a good player. I was just talking to you last night about the Diabate kid who was mixing it up with Duran. He was mixing it up with Tatum. They got guys over there that get mixy. They got shot makers. They got playmakers. They got shooting. Good coach. We like Charles Lee. So I don't know if the word is exposed. If not, maybe it's a little too premature. But that Charlotte Hornets team, whoever gets them in the first round, they are absolutely gonna have to bring their A game for a 7-game series. And if we pull them, right, if the Knicks pull them, I think experience, understanding the moment, the bright lights, all that kind of stuff, all of that stuff is gonna matter. And I think we are prepared for a moment like that more than the Hornets are.
You make some great points, but of course, who would me and you be if we agreed, right? I
Right, of
100%
course.
disagree with you. 100%
Okay.
disagree with Jalen Brown.
Okay.
I seen what he said. He said this team reminds me of us, right? I totally disagree. This Charlotte Hornets team is nothing like the young Boston Celtics or this Boston Celtics. And this is where I I take disrespect for our Knicks very personal. Jaylen Brown, why would you just automatically jump out there and glaze the Charlotte Hornets like that? Because now you're telling me in a couple years they should be winning a championship then. If they remind, if you get what I'm trying to say? So now the Knicks is not here, Cleveland is not here, Philly is not here, Detroit. So you telling me out of all the teams, because if you tell me someone reminds themselves of you, or however I might have said it backwards, then what are they going to be 2, 3 years from now? They're going to be champions? I don't see no Jason Tatum or no Jaylen Brown on that team. For me, I think that's just a shot at the New York Knicks. I like the Charlotte Hornets. I think they have a long way to go. I think right now they're playing with house money. They're playing with just free for all. They don't have to really think about winning. I think that plays a major part. I'm not taking away with how good and fun they are to watch. But there's nothing on the line for them. Nothing at all, right? So I think that's where I say we may be a little bit over exaggerating the Charlotte Hornets. Are they going to make a series fun to watch? Are they going to make it semi difficult? Yes, but for people to actually think that if we get them in the first round, they could beat us. History doesn't go like that, right? It goes like that once in a while, but not for this Charlotte Hornets team. Like, so for me, I think last night, them being up big going against Boston and Boston keeping their composure and just letting them understand we big bro, y'all little bro, we ain't gonna hit the panic button. We gonna just slowly walk y'all down. I think that's where Charlotte is gonna have their problem if they do meet us or like whoever they meet in the playoffs. Not saying they're gonna get swept, but I think Jaylen Brown, he took a shot at the Knicks with that fleet because let's be realistic. When you make that statement, you're telling me in the next 2, 3 years the Charlotte Hornets are going to be y'all. That's what I take from it. Am I bugging?
I think you're probably forgetting how long it took that Boston team to get to the NBA Finals, right? Like Tatum, it took, Brown gets drafted first, then Tatum, then it took them a couple
Right.
of years. They had some failures. Tatum comes in the league, they get to the Eastern Conference
But but
Finals as a
but but,
rookie.
but hold on, Flea. I mean to cut you off. You could continue.
Go,
Remember, but
go,
before the
go.
finals, they were getting to the Eastern Conference Finals
That's
like
what I was
year
about to.
after
That's what I
year
was about
after
to
year.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
as a rookie, Tatum is in the finals. I mean, in the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember the dunk on LeBron, and he
Right.
starts
Right.
screaming at him. Right, he's a
Right.
rookie when that happens. So I totally agree with what you're saying. I think we may be overblowing pause what Jalen Brown said. I think it was really more of like a sign of respect, right? Just kind of giving them some love. I don't know if I take it as a shot to the Knicks because when Jalen Brown is on his stream or whatever he was doing, he wants payback. He's looking for us, and so I think he understands that we are a playoff style team, right? I know I put a lot of emphasis on the regular season, but I did that because we have a new coach, right? And you want to
Right.
see us be consistent. You want to see us have some kind of identity. But at the end of the day, this roster is put together to go through a grueling playoff run. So I'm waking up this morning, wake up all ball. Like I'm waking up this morning feeling like, okay, maybe I need to understand and take a look at the structure of the Knicks, and they're put together more so to get the job done in the playoffs, and maybe not be that 60 win, 65 win team in the regular season that kind of I was hoping for. Um,
Right. Right.
so
Well. Let's discuss a little bit of what Jalen Brown said as far as wanting get back. Of course, from us, knocking them out the playoffs, the second round of the semi-conference finals, right, last season. It seems like, am I bugging or the Knicks, we're like almost constructed for the Celtics, and we didn't think about being constructed for a Charlotte Hornets or Detroit Pistons, right? Because we have problems with those type of teams that's long, athletic, play at a certain pace. Last night, did Boston prove anything to you? Hold on, let me ask you this: how impressive How impressed are you with Jason Tatum right now, coming back from that injury and now making the Celtics like a legit title contender?
Extremely, extremely impressed with Jason Tatum. Only because he's coming back from an injury that used to end careers. Remember, like at one
Yeah.
point, you get an Achilles tear, you're done. You get an ACL tear, you're done. So obviously, science is different, medicine is different, rehab is different. So these guys are bouncing back and being able to play again at a high level. Him, Kevin Durant, uh, you know, Halliburton is working his way back. Dame is coming back, right? So, it's just different times. But man,
Right.
OG Tatum is coming back and really understands what Jalen Brown has done this season. And he's not trying to rock the boat at all. He's just trying to fit in, if you want to call it that. I'm
Right.
looking at them last night, and Jason Tatum took 15 shots last night. You know how many shots Jalen Brown took? He doubled him up, damn near. Almost took 30. He took 29 shots last night. So that just lets me know. And Tatum is super efficient, 23 points last night on 15 shots, right? So, and Brown has 35 on 29 shots. So I just like the fact that Tatum hasn't come back. It doesn't seem like he has any ego. He seems like he's trying to fit in and help this team win a championship. And every team this season gonna have their work cut out for them. So to answer your question, I'm definitely impressed with how Tatum is playing coming back. I didn't expect this.
For me, we watch a lot of platforms, we watch a lot of
Mhm,
basketball, a lot of networks, right? And we hear how many teams, are championship contention, right? We hear how many teams
mhm,
are a threat, right? We hear how many teams
mhm,
can make, certain series difficult. The
mhm,
Boston Celtics is probably the most dangerous team in all of the playoffs, right? Because for me, the way they're constructed, the way they're built, they have everything. They have everything, right? So, they have what it takes to beat a Pistons or a Knicks. And then they have what it takes. We've seen them beat OKC, right? We've seen Jalen Brown take that mano y mano right between him and SGA personal
with him
and
and
pull out a
Ted.
win on
Yeah.
the road, right? So, and then you get a San Antonio team that's young, so that inexperience may hurt them. And then you look at a Denver. So, I think just last night beating the
So
Charlotte
wait.
Hornets
So hold
high.
on. So hold on. So what you saying? Boston's the favorite now? Is that what you're saying?
No, no,
Essentially?
no, no. You heard what I said. You ain't gonna swindle me into that one. I said, while everybody is saying, you got to look out for Detroit, as everybody's glazing Charlotte now, right? You hear what they say about Wemby. I'm just saying, for me, if we're talking about, of course, OKC's the favorites, right? They're the current champions. They have currently the best player in the NBA. So I get that. But I think after that, instead of everybody talking Knicks, San Antonio, Denver, and it hurts me to say this because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I don't like to give the Boston Celtics props, but I have to be
Right.
honest. The Boston Celtics are the most dangerous team in the NBA, and I don't think nobody wants to play them. I just think for us, we kind of a good matchup for them. But I think everybody else, I don't think they want to play the Celtics, especially seeing that Tatum is willing to do whatever it takes to win. And I'm gonna say this, Flea. I gotta ask you this.
Yep.
We had these discussions for a couple seasons now. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Is Jalen Brown the best player or the most important player on the Boston Celtics?
I still think that Jason Tatum is the best player, but I think Jalen Brown at this point might be the most important. He was the Finals MVP the last time they was in the finals. He was Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference MVP of that series. Um, he is, in my opinion, flat out the most important guy on that team. But when we talk about best player, I still think that Tatum has stuff in his tool bag that Brown has it's still fine tuning and it's still, he's still kind of just turned the corner this year. We saw Jalen Brown in a position to be the number one guy, and we saw what was in his bag, right? Great player. I just think Jason Tatum does that in his sleep. Like Jason Tatum just comes out and flat out, because he's just so talented, he can do everything that Jalen Brown does just when it's at a high level, it's times 10. We've seen Jason Tatum go for 50 plus,
Right.
in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? So I still think Jalen Brown is the most important player on that team, though. So, and I think that's pretty dope to have those two type of guys, right? We
Yeah.
feel like Tatum is not as assertive, but probably the most talented. Brown is the most assertive, and his game has just continued to get better and better. Um, Boston, Boston gonna be a problem, OG. They're gonna be a problem. We thought we ducked them. We thought because think about this. I want to ask you this: how many teams you think scouted and set up game plans just to guard them with Brown? Now you getting Tatum back, and you're going into the playoffs. It's not like we got Tatum back at the halfway mark. We getting Tatum back kind of like on the fly. And now coaches got to reassess, regame plan, adding Jason Tatum back. Like
Yeah.
they're going to be a tough
That
matchup for whoever they see.
that's a great question, right? Because I don't think nobody prepared for this.
Mm-mm.
Let alone be a two seed. Nobody thought Jalen Brown could be one of the best players in the NBA, right? MVP candidate. Um, and then championship contention, right? And then you hold the fort down until Tatum comes back. And then, of course, you say, okay, he ain't going to be all that. And he's just gradually coming along to where in the playoffs, if they get to the second round by then, he's probably 95% healthy,
Ready
mentally
to
and
rock,
physically. Right.
ready to rock
So,
and roll. So
yeah, so real quick, everybody, man, big shout out to y'all in the chat. Wake up with all ball, please. Hit that Cash App, ABTV3. Please follow the Instagram page at AllBall TV 3 underscores.
real quick,
Flea.
OG fam, real quick, family. We recording from different spots today, so the comments are not large for me, so I can't see them. I know y'all
Yeah, me
usually
neither.
used to us interacting and shouting everybody out and showing love to the ladies and showing love to our faithful watchers and newcomers and all of that kind of stuff. At the moment, the comments are not very visible for me, so I apologize if people are showing us love and we haven't responded to anybody. So I just wanted to say that really quick, OG.
Yeah. Same here. Y'all know how much we love y'all. So, we'll fix this. We just trying to get as much content, as much live to y'all as possible because we love talking to y'all and we love to interact with y'all. But yeah, so we'll fix this problem. Flea, let's bring it to our Knicks. Because we
What
know
we
our
got?
chat, diehard Knicks fans.
What we got?
How how nervous should we be if we meet the Celtics in the playoffs? Because what you just said, Mike Brown, I don't think, or any coach, game plan and thought they would have to worry about the Celtics. Now, them being fully healthy. If you're Mike Brown, Flea, what are you telling your players if you meet up with the Celtics in the playoffs?
I am. I'm having a little humility if I'm Mike Brown, and follow me when I say this. Coaches usually want to be able to command a room, want to be able to command the locker room, want to be able to feel like they are the leader of men. What they say is going to put them in a position to be successful. I think if we do see the Celtics in the playoffs, I think Mike Brown has to show a little humility and say, guys, how did you approach this last season? You guys were successful last season. What were some of the schemes that you guys ran last season against this team? You found ways to get stops. You found ways to kind of muck the game up a little bit. You walked them down 20 back-to-back games on the road. So how did y'all do that? Obviously, I mean, he probably watched, but I
Right.
think he probably should, have a level of humility and not try to go into this overthinking it and maybe just go back to, well, what were some of the game plans? What were some of the schemes? Obviously, Jalen Brown got better, so you can't just act like, just throw the same thing at him and he's going to respond
Right.
the same way. So I just think it needs to be a mixture of the two. What were some of the things that were super successful against them last year? How can we carry that over? And then how can we add some things, to what we
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's that's a great point. Um, For me, right?
I gotta jump out and jump back in.
Yeah, no problem. For me, big shout out to the chat. Please, y'all hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. Like I say, y'all see the Cash App up there, ABTV3. Y'all see the Instagram. Please support and follow at AllBall TV 3 underscores. Big shout out to the chat. Y'all know the deal. Love y'all, right? For me, this is a major problem because as a Knicks fan, right? For our Knicks, we thought we only had to worry about Detroit. And now, the Boston Celtics, watching them beat Charlotte last night and seeing Jaylen Brown make the comment that he made as far as wanting his get back. You gotta be careful when a team is looking at you and they taking it personal and they want their get back, right? It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I think we are built for the Celtics. I think we are a bad matchup for the Celtics. The same way, certain teams like Atlanta, Charlotte, Detroit is bad matchups for us, maybe a Cleveland. I think we a bad matchup for Boston. I think we stick with the same game plan, right? Think about it. Now we have a healthy Mitchell Robinson. So for me, this is where Mike Brown is going to have to earn his respect and his stripes from not only the team, but the fan base and the organization as well. There's going to be no easy playoff series in the Eastern Conference when it comes to our Knicks. Whether we meet up with Orlando, Charlotte, Cleveland, Boston, Atlanta, right? I think the only matchup for us that'll be kind of sweet is probably the Toronto Raptors. But I think besides that, everybody else is going to be tough. So for me, for the Celtics, wow, for them to be able to do this, and I know Flea said Jason Tatum is more talented, but at this point, Ja Morant and Zion is more talented than a lot of players. Does that make them better? I know we want to like Jason Tatum, right? But for me, Flea, you can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got a question for you, right?
Yes, sir. My bad, y'all.
The Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown thing, right? We're gonna have to revisit this probably after these playoffs, because Flea, if Jaylen Brown continues to be the best player in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I just said something. John Morant and Zion is talented, more talented than a lot of players.
Okay.
But are they better? Right? We we like Jason Tatum. People
Mm-hmm.
like Jason Tatum. Right? So it's easy to just dismiss Jaylen Brown when it's like, what? Jason Tatum, 6'9", can do it all. But do you think Jason Tatum could have done this season what Jaylen Brown did?
Me, yeah.
Think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think so. Being put in that position, I do think so. We don't, we don't we like Jason Tatum. I hear what you're saying. We like him, but we also don't think that he lacks the aggression. Like even last night, Diabate started to try to get mixy with him, try to take him out of his game.
Right.
And Tatum was so focused on the game that he didn't even like it didn't even look like he knocked him off his block. A guy like Brown, he's gonna engage in that. He's gonna meet that challenge, right? We like that type of shit. So I don't want because that example I said to take away from Tatum. I just think Jaylen Brown has more dog in him. Is Jason Tatum a dog? Yes. But I think Jaylen Brown exhibits it more often than Jason Tatum. That's what I'll say.
So you gotta remember, right?
Hmm.
For our Knicks, watching Boston, watching Charlotte, right?
Hmm.
What you think the game plan should be for our Knicks? Give me one game plan that you think we should use as far as to be successful in the playoffs. Is it the double bigs, right? With Mitch and Cat, right? I mean, is it OG going off? Is it Brunson being Brunson? Give me something that you think we should be focused on to be successful.
No matter who we play, or you saying if we pull Charlotte first round, like depending on who
I,
we play, or just
I,
just flat out just for the Knicks.
yeah. Just flat out for the Knicks.
I think I think establishing Carl Anthony Towns early. I don't think Carl Anthony Towns should be playing from behind in a series. Meaning, I don't think we need to be catching him up. Like it can't be game three, and now we're trying to establish Carl Anthony Towns. I think game one or whatever series we play, we gotta establish him first. I think that's important. Um, I think taking care of the basketball is important. The far too many games do we turn the ball over, and that gives other teams opportunity to stay close with us. If we pull a six seed, you know, the team is not going to be horrible, but we should be better than them. Don't give them any opportunities to stay in the game. So establishing Carl Anthony Towns early, taking care of the basketball, limiting turnovers, and then for me, uh, the big thing is the glass. OG, we got to rebound, man. We got to rebound. We got to rebound. Defensive rebounding is key. We let Atlanta have way too many offensive rebounds the other night. Far too many times, when Mitch is not in the game, do we allow guys to offensive rebound and get second chance points? And so I just think those are three keys for me to start the playoffs right, for sure.
Last question, chat. I need y'all answer this question. In the playoffs, Lee, who do you feel more comfortable with being the best player, Cat or Jalen Brunson?
Well, Brunson, because I know he's our closer. Because I know that, doesn't seem like the moment is ever too bright for him. Um, Cat comes and goes, unfortunately, but it would be, here's the thing, it would be great. See, this is when you start comparing Carl Anthony Towns and JB to the duos and the greats of old, right? Obviously, they're not
Right.
Kobe Bryant, or obviously they're not Kobe and Shaq, but you would like them to have that dynamic where on any given night, one of those guys are going to kill you, or on any given night, both of them guys are going to kill you, and you have no answer for either one. Carl is going to have a monster 35 and 15 game, but damn, Brunson now has a 25 and 10 game, right? When these guys are just clicking on all cylinders, we're going to be a tough team to beat. The only thing is we haven't seen that too often. Why is
Right.
everybody jumping out the window, for that Atlanta game? Because that Atlanta game, we finally saw, oh shit, these two guys could actually be on the same page, actually
Yes.
play well together. Why can't we manufacture that every game? Why can't we muster that up every game? We should be able to. These guys are not young pros. They're pros. They should be able to adapt. And 2 seasons together, we're going into our second playoffs together. You guys, that duo should be a well-oiled machine. It's not yet, but that's going to put us in a great position to win. I think those couple of keys are important for us.
Yeah, Flea, I totally agree. I think, in the playoffs, as much as we all say we love the offense to go through Cat, I think
Mhm.
for us to win, Brunson's going to have to be our best player. And for me, the one reason I say that is fear. A lot of these teams don't fear Cat. They fear
No,
Jalen Brunson, right? So until Cat is dominant and he instills that fear and respect into the opposing players, the opposing teams, Brunson, I know people don't think it's possible, but he's gonna have to be our best player for us to be successful, right?
for sure,
So
for sure.
for me, I think that fear factor of him, because I seen Austin Rivers make a comment which I loved, right? And he
Okay.
said Brunson isn't afraid of those clutch moments, and
Not
he's
one bit.
proven it. night in and night out, right? He hasn't been shaken. He hasn't been rattled. So, yeah, I think for us, we have to establish that fear in teams. And I think the only guy that can do that on our team is Jalen Brunson. Think about it. There's teams, Flea, that have 2, 3 players like that. Like I said, in Boston, you fear Tatum and Brown, right? In
Right,
OKC, you fear SGA and Williams, right?
right,
You know,
right.
you can go down. Remember, Denver, yeah, we could glaze Joker all we want, but Jamal Murray is a clutch shot maker, right? So,
That's a big shot maker right there.
right. So I think once we are able to have
Ooh,
that
I have one
fear,
more.
yes, go ahead. No,
No,
no.
I
So
have
real
one more
quick,
point. I want you to finish. I
yeah,
want
yeah.
you to finish. I just something came to me.
Once we are able to establish that you have to fear and respect both players, hopefully, if we can get that going into the playoffs, I think that's what's going to get us to the promised land.
I think this playoffs, for us to go to another level, obviously we know what Carl is capable of when playing at a high level. We know Jalen Brunson has been our guy since he walked through the door. Just
Right.
playoff after playoff, elite play after elite play, clutch shot after clutch shot. OG Anunoby, your time to shine, brother. This playoffs is going to be very, very important. You always talk about, nigga told us he ain't taking no pay cut. Give me what I deserve. So
Important.
we talked about how important he is, how great we are when he, scores over 20 a night, when he's hitting shots and he's sitting in that chair and locking down and getting in passing lanes, getting blocked shots, just making it when OG Anunoby is the second to third best player on the court, like on both teams, 10 guys on the court. When OG Anunoby is the second or third best player on the court, maybe even your first at times, the Knicks are a different team. So this may be the playoffs where we may need to rely on him a little more, especially because his offensive game, over the last couple of years has elevated. So it's time for you to step up, OG. It's time.
We gonna end wake up like this. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Listen, y'all going we trying to give y'all us pause as much as possible, right? Wake up in the morning. Y'all see the Cash App. Y'all see the Instagram page. Flea. You just said OG. His time to shine in the playoffs. Offensively or defensively, we need him to shine. I can hear you. Just give us an answer. You ain't got to jump in and out.
Yeah, the stream it
Yeah,
knocked me
yeah,
out
but
for a
not
second.
mine did that the other day. But we about to just give me your answer. He needs to shine offensively or defensively for us to be successful.
Offensively.
Ooh. There it is, y'all. Y'all heard Flea. We see y'all tonight, Knicks Rehab. We might discuss this a little more. Hope everybody have a great morning. Stay warm out there. It's chilly. Flea, we out of here, my brother.
Oh, oh boy.